Joey confesses to Annie. Hello, everyone. Annie, my beloved, I can't rest. I have something awful I have to confess. I don't know why I'm telling you this, but I need you to know in case we meet again after my imminent death. Annie, I lied. You weren't my first, and you weren't my only. Annie, forgive me, but an exotic circus lady named Olga briefly stole me. It was Friday night on Main Street, cold February 1939. Audience settles into stained velvet seats, 7 o'clock picture show about to begin. Me and my wife Annie, she was still Annie Pendleton back then, sit a little too close together. I always made a point of asking Annie if she wouldn't mind holding our warm box of popcorn right between her bursting thighs. Now, I spent my life as a modest working man, but it wasn't a secret that as a healthy 17-year-old farm boy, I was the fixture of the imagination of more than several local ladies. Girls would go on about my thick hair and pretty eyes. They had me lift things that didn't need lifting, wiping unladylike sweat from dainty hands, watching me, pretending they weren't. Annie, 19, was noticeably thick in the middle with lush red lips and thick blonde hair. Annie and I got together that summer after I complimented her pretty pictures of horses, which were covered with blue ribbons in the 4-H exhibit at the Columbia County Fair. Ah, for Pete's sake, Annie, have some of this goddamn popcorn. If I've told you once, I've told you a million times. Annie, you're the prettiest girl around here, and I think your soft figure is mighty fine. Annie pulled her stomach in a little extra, arched her back, and twirled her hair. I'm going to eat the whole damn box without you, girl. Go on and take some before I finish it all. Oh, Joey, giggled Annie, who always ended these discussions with one of her precious kisses in my left cheek. Thornton Wilder could have written a whole play about the village of Chatham, but to be honest, I didn't have Thornton Wilder's idyllic all-American mind. At the end of the day, behind the wholesome all-American face, thoughts of Annie's sumptuous figure took hostage of my young, sexually active brain. By all accounts, I'm a good man, a volunteer fireman, the nice boy who helped the old ladies, walked dogs, and delivered papers. But the mind of a red-blooded man has a mind of its own. I'm smiling Annie in her too small yellow sweater. All I could think about was ripping off that bra, which Annie's voracious winter appetite had made an enticing few sizes too small. Back then, I would twist and turn whenever I sat beside her, yearning to bite that large ass and stuff my mouth with handfuls of her overflowing pink extra flesh. Annie owned my thoughts. It didn't matter if I was awake or asleep. Annie was working at the nursery school, but sometimes there was a dimension where I was kissing that round belly, even as I cleaned old man Woodrow's goddamn stinking stalls. Hell, I always wanted more when I kissed Annie goodbye at the gate. But much to my extreme frustration, Annie was taught that good girls always wait. Annie's flush sang whispers in secret languages that my dear girl's obedient level head was diligently trained to forget. That night, at the movies, the good people of Chatham sat lost in their amazed silence, only reminded of where they were by an occasional February sneeze. With mercy delivered by some whiskey, I snuck past that old usher's eyes. I relaxed deeper into my seat, working hard to not think about Annie's pussy and focus on the damn 25-cent flick. An 8-foot-tall Eleanor Powell was tapping her heart out above me, shaking her coochie like a silver Amazon. So it wasn't none too long with Eleanor's hips twirling that my mind was back to fucking and my dick got hard, imagining my face buried in that MGM dancer's silver screen-sized thighs. Smiling Eleanor, shaking that ass. Smiling Eleanor, dancing for me. How do people act so damn proper, masking the howling need for a sweaty, raucous fuck? For Pete's sake, Annie, don't you start crying. I was 17 years old, fresh on the heels of starvation, and there was a war to fight before I would get to marry and undress you. And the good people of Chatham in their laundered outfits for work, church, and school, they all talked like a fake family on a radio show. Words and words about fruit pies and livestock, report cards and funerals, as if the need to fuck had grown pale blue and cold. Poverty and war, dust bowls and death camps. Fucking had survived it all. Fucking at the beginning of time, exact same fucking as we do now. Cave fuck, grave fuck, pussy, penis, somewhere, toys, asshole, mouth. I was a good man. Hard worker, solid townsperson, reliable and polite. But I had drunken poet's urges like that crazy Miller man. Urges that were way too intoxicating and seductive to fight. Olga, this is Olga for all of you who have that in your program, lovely Olga, arrived at a time when I thought my balls were about to break. Sure, I loved you, Annie, as much as any young man who ever lived could, but I was 17 years old and healthy. Was I really supposed to wait? Olga, the headless girl, was a headless goddess, a carnival queen, and most enticingly, a freak. She came to Chatham that cold February weekend on a train with her closest friends, the Siamese twins and the mule-faced girl, and in over 24 hours, Olga's headless charm changed my innocent life. The headless muse of Anne Heinemann was a pretty girl, despite the rubber tubes for blood and food that she had instead of a face. It was hard to tell what she was thinking, but her pretty hands spoke for her, and soon I couldn't help but wonder what it would be like to crawl up her Bergdorf Goodman sophisticated city girl's high fashion skirt. What does pussy smell like when it doesn't have a head? Olga was the perfect woman, her perfect fashion model body stopped at the neck. Important men around the world adored her. Olga received thousands of love letters and presents every day. Olga was pure testicular fantasy, a deviant definition of divine. She sat in her iron lung-like throne like an angel of mercy, a pornographic queen, unburdened by the complications of having a brain or a head, like the pretty ones you had, my sweet Annie. Olga really could understand me, never asking questions or asking for anything more. Unlike clap-ridden Hudson hookers who charged an arm and a leg, Olga shared it all for free. And most importantly, Olga never said no. That night, Olga sat alone in the midwinter's night, while off in the distance, the mule-faced girl gave the squealing twins a ride. I thought some soup might warm her cold bones, so poured some in her feeding tank. The warm liquid did her plenty good, and after that she showed her appreciation the only way a headless woman would. With open arms and open legs, she encompassed me like a spider. The scent of her perfume caused me to lose my head, and soon I was inside her. Our torrid affair lasted 7 days, me, an unknown farm boy, and Olga, a glamorous headless star. Headless pussy all day long, headless pussy for 7 nights. So, Annie, today I kneel before you, a modest man who hasn't gotten it up in years, begging for mercy from you, my dead wife.